Greetings to you, lovely students. I welcome you to today's virtual class. In today's class, I'll be taking the topic Husbandry of Groundnut, and at the end of today's lesson, you should have a good knowledge on the groundnut plant and so many other outline. Now, about the groundnut plant. Now, groundnut is a dual-purpose crop, dual in the sense that it is used as an oil crop, and it is also used as a leguminous crop. Now, the oil content in groundnut is as high as 55% by weight of the whole groundnut seed, and the protein could be as high as 30% of the whole groundnut seed, and carbohydrate is about 18% of the groundnut seed. Now, groundnut is an underground producing seed, that is, a seed usually grow underground, but the flower is usually seen above the ground. So during maturity period, you see the plant coming up with flower. That will give you an idea that there are seeds underground that is ready for harvesting. Lands meant for groundnut seed cultivation or production is usually first cleared, and stumping is usually done, and the land can be prepared either mechanically by using plowing or by usage of plow, harrower, and ridger. So, the first machine to use, if it is a mechanical production, is the plow. The next is harrower. The next one is ridger. Now, climatic and soil requirements of groundnut. Usually, groundnut requires a temperature of about 25 degrees centigrade to 30 degrees centigrade, and about 700 millimeter to 1000 millimeter of rainfall per annum. Now, groundnut requires a quartz texture and sandy loamy soil, which is slightly acidic or neutral. Now, the pH could be around 5 to 7, which means that groundnut does not require an alkaline soil, but a slightly acidic soil. An alkaline soil will make the nutrient in the soil to be unavailable to the groundnut plant. Now, the soil should be rich in calcium and phosphorus, and also which is also required for pod formation. Now, groundnut is propagated by use of seed. The planting date for groundnut is usually March to April in the south. That is, you have to plant before the rainy season commences, and May or June in the north. Now, groundnut does not require excess rainfall, else it should have been planted around June in the south and around August in the north. So, because groundnut does not require much rainfall, it is planted March to April in the south. Now, the seed rate is usually 30 to 35 kg per hectare, using 2 or 3 seeds per hole. Now, the spacing of groundnut is usually around 40 by 20 centimeter, or 60 centimeter by 20 centimeter, depending on the number of seeds per hole. Now, if the farmer is using 2 seeds per hole, then it means it will have to use a smaller plant spacing. Now, because weeds have ability to reduce the quality and quantity of the groundnut planted, it is essential that a farmer weeds his farm regularly, either with the use of hoe before groundnut begins to flower, or with the use of selective herbicide in order to kill the non-leguminous weeds. Now, harvesting, processing, and storage. Groundnut matures between 3 to 6 months of after planting or after germination, depending on the type of cultivar a farmer planted. Now, harvesting is usually done when the lower leaves begin to turn brown, and when the flowering is almost at its peak. Now, the farmer pulls out the plant with the aid of his hand. Now, groundnut is usually processed into oils after harvesting, and then after harvesting, before extraction of oil, which could be either through mechanical or solvent extraction method, the groundnut is usually sun dried on mats. Now, groundnut could be cooked or fried, or the byproduct of groundnut cake is usually fed to farm animals as a source of protein. Groundnut could be stored in bags or in silos or rhombus, as you can see in the bags there, or in containers after frying. Now, pests and disease of groundnut. There are so many pests and diseases of groundnut. Pests of groundnut include rodents, include rats, include armyworms, as you can see in the picture here. Armyworms, we have grasshopper, we have groundnut beetle. All these are pests of crops. There are also leaf hoppers, grasshoppers. We also have weevils that usually attack groundnut in the storehouse. We have rodents like rats, we have rodents like squirrels, we have rodents like the cane rat. We have so many pests of groundnut. There are also birds. Birds also serve as a pest for groundnut. Now, the three basic diseases that attack groundnut include groundnut rosetted disease, Tika disease, and aspergillosis. All these usually reduce the harvest of farmer during time of harvest. Now, the groundnut rosetted disease is usually caused by a virus which is transmitted by the aphid. Aphid is an example of piercing and sucking insect pest. It usually causes the leaves to become yellow with mosaic form of mottling, making it difficult for the plant to photosynthesize, leading to eventual death of the groundnut plant. Now, the best way is to spray affected plants with insecticide to kill the vector, which is referred to as aphid. Now, once the aphid is gone, it will not be able to transmit the virus which causes the groundnut rosetted disease. Now, the Tika disease is caused by a fungi which can be spread by air or wind. Now, symptoms include yellowing of leaves with dark brown spots on the outer surface. Falling of the leaves will soon set in after the first instance of dark spot is noted. Now, the major means of preventing this is to maintain farm sanitation. Now, the last one, which is aspergillosis disease, is usually a storage form of disease which attacks the groundnut seed in the store. It's usually caused by fungus which is referred to as Aspergillus flavus, which makes the seed to become moldy and thus unsafe for human or animal consumption. Now, in the next class, I'll be taking you the topic husbandry of cotton. Now, because cotton is very essential for human survival, we are going to take that lesson in order for us to have a good knowledge on how to cultivate cotton. Thank you for watching. Do have a wonderful time. Bye.